Greetings. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Myers, and I work with KSWG here in North Central Region. Thank you for allowing me to join you today and our teammates in Kansas Wing and North Central Region for their conference. Today, I'm going to provide a brief liaison region update and then also go over the new inspection and evaluation construct for operational evaluations going forward. Today, across the region, everyone is dealing with unique challenges. At the very least, minor inconveniences on one end of the spectrum, all the way to sickness and loss on the other end of the spectrum. For the military, readiness is huge, and so in consideration of public health, the medical readiness of the force has been prioritized. Therefore, training that requires group participation or travel through populous hubs has been canceled, as has all non-mission essential travel. Most personnel moves across the DoD have been delayed, and even personal travel in leave status has been restricted. For the mission of KSWG, effectively performing oversight is likewise challenged. Now, two of the major ways that we conduct that oversight are compliance inspections and ops evals. Compliance inspections and related activities such as subordinate unit inspections accomplished by the wing, staff assistance visits accomplished by the KSWG liaison regions, they'll continue, but with fully virtual means until travel and gathering restrictions are loosened. So for North Central, in the next 18 months, we have Nebraska's compliance inspection in October and South Dakota's inspection in April of 2021. For our own visits to North Central wings, we're planning Minnesota and North Dakota later this year, with Iowa and Missouri next year, giving those wings a compliance review so they can be ready and effective when the headquarters team inspects subsequently. With compliance inspections being already accomplished at about 80% through virtual means, there's a small amount of what the old KAPRs called eyes-on, hands-on that will be transitioned to virtual means. Now, let's jump to Ops Eval 3.0, the latest version of the evaluations and what we're migrating toward. Hopefully the slides are up now. So while this is the way ahead, initial execution this year is changing due to the Air Force's and CAP's COVID responses. So while the general ideas are accurate, some of the specifics may change over the upcoming months, if that makes sense. Now, the new method for evaluating the operational readiness of CAP will take the form of a large 2-week evaluation spanning 2 entire CAP regions, working together closely to respond to a simulated large-scope scenario event. Each year, a single 2-region evaluation will take place. While the evaluation scenario may not require every wing in a region to be included or tasked equally, CAP will have the option to move and use their resources however they feel is appropriate. Additionally, real-world events of appropriate size and scope may carry credit or partial credit for the scenario portion. Scenarios will focus on major missions in the region: baseline SAR, DR, communications, ops flight, and small UAS missions. Those mission sets will be evaluated for all regions. Other missions, including counter-drug, border ops, range support, route surveys, air defense, green flag, RPA escort, for those wings that typically support the missions, will be ideally viewed during the evaluation, but teams will schedule other visits as necessary. Now, the primary 2-week disaster scenario will optimally take place sometime during the April to June timeframe, but obviously, this year's events will be a little bit different based on how current public health considerations play out. Now, as you can see, North Central will be paired with Great Lakes in 2022's operation evaluation. Teams will consist of LR personnel, members of headquarters, reservists, CAP experts as well, all depending on the needs of the specific evaluation. The scenarios will be designed to test full capabilities, beginning and ending in the NOC. Now, one goal in this change is that LR interaction with the wings wouldn't decrease. Now, because of the scope, but also limit to the number of evaluated regions every year, more money and reserve days should be available for KSWG to travel to more events. Additionally, we want to expand our in-person visits during real-world events where the rubber meets the road. And there are a number of other benefits that we see for using resources more efficiently. WLEs will be renamed to RLEs, or region-led exercise, and will be completely planned and executed by CAP on the second year following their evaluation, so every other year. So for North Central, 2020 is the year to plan and execute a region-led exercise. We plan to have a smaller team present to provide feedback at the RLEs, and optimally will include CAP from other regions. So why? Why change what we're doing and have done for so long? Well, one big reason is an effort to standardize scenarios and grading nationwide in much the same way that the 2014 change to compliance inspections standardized our look at objective metrics and sought to minimize or remove subjective aspects that didn't contribute to a consistent and standardized view of wing compliance. Plus, we want the evaluation to be a realistic reflection of how CAP operates. The idea of one CAP is not to operate solely and completely within a single wing to the point of exhausting resources. Multiple wings and multiple regions are involved in significant events, sharing the burden and contributing as one CAP, accomplishing CAP's missions regardless of state or region borders. Another reason is that we want to test all echelons in how they support and accomplish the CAP missions. Now, the final slide details of how we anticipate the evaluation team to be dispersed throughout the regions and how many evaluators will be on the various teams. Then, along the right side, a more detailed breakdown of the timeline of event execution. Now, as you can see from the teams, small groups will cover a number of wings and then various levels up to and including the NOC. And in the timeline, if you count up all the prospective dates, it adds up to almost a full year. In fact, the portion of time from the opening of non-scenario mission evaluations to the final report is estimated to be 5 months in duration. Now, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So I'm sure as we develop and mature into this new inspection construct, the times will shorten on the edges. But there will be significant events across 2 regions taking up 2 weeks and then some probably, with a tremendous operations effort and then bookends of non-scenario mission evaluations, allowing enough time to make up for weather delays, operational constraints, recurring missions and exercises, diversion of resources, fiscal year, other funding delays, or other unanticipated turbulence in the scheduling process. So, to summarize, wings and regions can still train as much as they need. We just want to minimize our distraction. We hope to be less intrusive in your scheduling, but able to attend more events. Now, our ability to cover those events, ops evals and otherwise, will always boil down to our manning. So as we finish up, let me say a few words about that. Now, first, some good news. We're very close to advertising a position for our next regional operations director, who we'd like to place in the South region area, probably around Kansas City. Also, we're going to be able to keep our current director of operations, Lieutenant Colonel Pete Schnobrick, through next spring. Now, after that, we're pursuing different options to keep that position filled. Unfortunately, due to the Air Force's rated staff allocation policy, we won't get a replacement through regular personnel processes. Our headquarters is looking at various options to include using Guard, Reserve, or return to active duty programs as a possible temporary solution. So speaking of reservists, currently we have 14 on the books, but by early 2021, we'll be down to 8. Now, numbers flux normally due to myriad factors such as civilian employment options, gains in retirements, the draw of other total force positions and those manning needs, and efforts to right-size the region. In everything we do, we are working to right-size our force, better aligning resources with our mission, and all based on our headquarters CAP-USAF commander's priorities and vision for the organization. In our region, I want to strive to get the right person who has the right experience set and who demonstrates the right motivation. Appropriately covering the region may require more or less than 8 reservists given the new evaluation methodology, but it also depends on who those reservists might be, how they can best serve our mission, and how often we'll be able to use them. We'll continue working with and for you and for the success of your missions as you support our nation as the Air Force Auxiliary in North Central. I thank you for all that you're doing in your communities right now, even in the midst of COVID. Thank you for maintaining a high state of readiness, for your deliberate efforts to continue interaction in squadron community, and for your willingness to partner with other organizations to serve our communities, states, and nation. As a reminder, I will be available for questions this afternoon during the town hall broadcast. If you have questions you'd like to send me ahead of time, you can email NCLRCC, all one word, NCLRCC at cap-usaf-nclr.net. That's NCLRCC at cap-usaf-nclr.net. Also, this presentation and slides will be available as a link later in the conference. Thank you for all your time and attention. And with that, I'll turn this back over to our moderator. Thank you very much.